Let's take a moment to discuss what happens before a project is chartered. It is important for project managers to know a project's history in order to manage it effectively and achieve the results for which it was intended. The departments and individuals within your company present management with requests for many different initiatives, all of which would require an investment of corporate resources. When answering questions on the exam, assume the organization has a formal process to review and analyze these potential projects and select the project that best aligns with the strategic goals of the organization. There might even be a project selection committee in place to evaluate project proposals. A project manager is not typically involved in the project selection. So you may be asking, why is this important to understand? That's a great question. The reasons a project is selected and the value it is expected to bring to an organization indicate its significance to the company. The project manager needs to know if the project was selected because it will establish a new area of business, or if it is being implemented to meet regulatory or compliance requirements, or possibly it was chosen because it was the least expensive or most feasible solution to a problem. The reasons a project was selected can impact which constraints are most flexible, and knowing this information will influence how the project manager plans and manages the project. A project manager must keep the reasons the project was selected in mind throughout the project to ensure the objectives are achieved. For the exam, you should be familiar with the project selection methods that we will be talking about next. But understanding these methods is not as important as knowing that such activities occur prior to initiating a project. These activities fall outside the project boundaries. For further study, you can turn to PMBOK page 9 and review Table 1-1, examples of factors that lead to the creation of a project. Benefit measurement and constrained optimization are two categories for project selection methods. You may see these terms used in scenarios or as distractors in answer choices. Present value is the only calculation you may be asked to perform. Again, we will be covering calculations later. For the exam, you should simply be aware that the following terms relate to project selection. Benefit measurement methods is a comparative approach, whereas constrained optimization methods are a mathematical approach. Any project selection method that ends with the word programming is a constrained optimization method. You need to be only able to recognize such items as constrained optimization methods. You do not need to be able to explain them. Return on investment, or ROI. Return on investment determines the potential profitability of an investment by calculating the benefits received in relation to the cost. Present value, or PV, is something that you might encounter a couple of questions on the exam that will require you to calculate present value. We will be going through that in a future lesson with calculations. Present value means the value today of future cash flows. Net present value, you will not have to calculate any NPV, but you do need to know that it is the present value of the total benefits, income or revenue, minus the costs over many time periods. Calculating the NPV of each proposed project provides a means for organizations to compare many projects and select the best project to initiate. Generally, if NPV is positive, the investment is a good choice, unless an even better investment opportunity exists. Internal rate of return, or IRR, to understand this concept, think of a bank account. You put money in a bank account and expect to get a return, for example. You can think of a project in the same way. If a company has more than one project in which it would invest, the company may look at the returns of the different projects and then select a project with the highest return. Payback period. This term refers to the length of time it takes for the organization to recover its investment in a project before it starts accumulating profit. Cost-benefit analysis compares the expected cost of a project to the potential benefits it could bring to an organization.